Hello, welcome and welcome back to Chapter 2 of my video series on the CAGED method. We had an introduction, we had Chapter 1, we're in Chapter 2 where we're going to look at the A shape. In the last video we talked about what I think is the most important piece of CAGED, the three pillars of CAGED, which is the foundation and the method with which to apply CAGED to the neck. I highly recommend if you haven't seen that you check it out. But if you want to jump right in here, it's going to be a little more quickly paced, but you could probably maybe follow along. Check the other one out too. So, the A shape. Three pillars of CAGED applied to the A shape. Let's do it. Pillar number 1, identify the shape and create a movable voicing. The shape of a chord is the open notes and the fretted notes. We cannot move a chord like this because we left behind the open notes. So what we need to do is second half, create a movable voicing. Usually that's done by a bar chord. So there's a couple ways to bar an A shape. Some people do it like this. This is not my preferred method, but I'll show you. You replay the chord with fingers 2, 3, 4, and then you use the first finger to bar across the 5th string. I find this has always been a pain to play, and it doesn't provide a lot of versatility for stuff you might want to do in the future. The way that I play it, and a lot of guitar players seem to play it, is by barring that A fretted notes with the ring finger and then using the first finger to just grab the 5th string. So that sounds more like this. Now you may or may not be able to get the high E string to ring out. I find that I can't get the ring finger to be down on these three, but then up to get the high E, and that's super common. So it's very common to just play it as these 4 strings. If you can get that high E, awesome. But you know I can't, and it's really not necessary. So that's the shape. So you can practice moving that around, just playing it at different locations before you move forward. An important thing: you have to keep that shape. If your first finger slips towards the ring and you don't get that gap, doesn't sound very good. You gotta keep the shape right. The second part of CAGED, what is the root note within the shape? Well, what is a root note? A root note is the note upon which the chord is based and after which the chord is named. The root note of the A chord is the A on the 5th string, which means as we move this shape around, the root note is moving too. The root note moves from fret to fret. And the frets are the notes in the musical alphabet. So when we move it here, the root note is this note, whatever that is, and the chord becomes a chord of that note's name, whatever that note is, or this note, or this note. Very important. The chord takes on the letter name of the root note. So we have to know what the root note is within the shape. And pillar 3, which is kind of an extension of this, we have to know what the notes are on the string, on the appropriate string. If we didn't know that, say, this 10th fret was a G, we wouldn't be able to play a G chord with the A shape, or a D chord. So you have to learn the notes on the appropriate string. Now, learning the notes on the fretboard can be a daunting task. I like this way of doing it because it's step by step. You only need to learn one string at a time, and you can start with a handful of notes. You don't have to learn them all. Let's say you got a song that uses E and D. Just use those 2 notes. Just learn those 2. Don't worry about where G is or F is. If you don't need it, you don't need to learn it. As you need it, you need to learn it. That's the secret to learning notes, to learning music theory. Learn as it's applicable to you, and it will stick. Don't learn it all at once. Learn it step by step. So, 3 pillars of CAGED are: what's the shape, identify the shape, and create a movable voicing. Here's our shape, and here is our movable voicing. Pillar number 2, learn the root note within the shape. That's the first finger on the 5th string. The chord will be named after this note, or this note, or this note, or this note. Pillar 3, learn the notes on the string. Then you can play a G, or an A, or an E flat, whatever you want to play. You can use this shape to play a chord of any letter along the 5th string. That's the CAGED method, and that's the A shape. Let's do an exercise where we play through all of the natural notes and then all of the frets entirely, so including the accidentals up and down the neck from A to A and back. We're going to spend 2 beats on every chord, just doing 1 strum on each, just to get used to the shape and locating it to different root notes. Here are the notes on the 5th string. Let's go ahead and do this. Starting on A in the open position, 2 beats per chord. 3, 4. We got A, move to B at the 2nd fret, move to C at the 3rd, move to D at the 5th, move to E at the 7th, move to F at the 8th, move to G at the 10th, move to A at the 12th, A again, and moving back down. Move to G at the 10th, move to F at the 8th, move to E at the 7th, move to D at the 5th, move to C at the 3rd, move to B at the 2nd, move to A at the open string. Those are all of our natural notes played with the A shape, the movable voicing we created out of the A chord. Let's go ahead and do all the accidentals. So this is going to be every fret, and we're going to name the sharps and flats as they go by. 1, 2, 3, 4. A sharp. B, C, C sharp. D, D sharp. E, F, F sharp. G, G sharp. A again, and back down. A flat, G, G flat, F, E, E flat, D, D flat, C, B, B flat, and A. That is the A shape of the CAGED method. Thanks for joining me. If you like this, like and subscribe. Check out my links below. Check out the Patreon. We'll see you in the next video.